Hey guys, it's Amber. So today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me. I'm just going to be talking about some real life stuff and kind of what I've been dealing with my family for the past about 6 months. And I'm in no way like doing this video to like get attention or to get sympathy from other people. Like that's not my intention at all. I'm filming this video in part because I think that I just really didn't honestly know that this was a thing. And so I'm going to give like a brief history for those who don't know. I am actually going to be doing a look with my Coastal Scents, and I'm going to just use my IT Cosmetics CC Cream, my Cover FX, this Maybelline concealer I'm trying to use up, and then we'll go from there. I think I'm going to do my eyes first because I'm not sure about the fallout on these. It's been a while since I've used them. So first of all, is one of the points that I want to make is, guys, you don't realize how important it is to drive safe. I just saw from my old neighborhood in Utah a family that their 2 kids got killed because someone else in the other lane veered over and hit them head on. And my heart was just so broken for those poor parents that like have lost their children. Like they've lost their whole lives. A 10 and 12-year-old, like just their lives just like that, boom, taken. And I am grateful that my husband is still alive, but he was in an accident a year ago, and I've touched on it briefly, but he was driving down a highway and just driving straight, and I don't want to get into the huge details of everything, but basically somebody tried to cut across 6 lanes of traffic to go, like there was a median, and they didn't want to like have to come down and then turn around a U-turn and then like drive back and then go into a driveway. They just wanted to like shoot across. And my husband was kind of behind another SUV, and so when she cut that SUV off going this way, she didn't see him, and they right on the freeway. So my husband wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just driving like, you know, anybody would be driving, and he got hit. And he had a concussion, and he was down for a while, and I don't know how much of that I talked about because it was last year, but it was a struggle, you know, it was a struggle. At that point, when he had his concussion, he was really kind of like funny and silly, and you know, he made comments about the doctor trying to hit on me, obviously, which wasn't true, you know, but it was frightening because he, you know, you could definitely tell that he had a concussion. So he went through physical therapy. He obviously had a bunch of scans, you know, he got treatment. Yeah. So basically they cleared him and said that he was fine. He had recovered. And then after that, for I'd say about in January, I think he was kind of cleared, and then we ended up moving. So it's been a while since he was cleared as like, you're good to go, whatever. So I did not know that there was such a thing as like a relapse in symptoms after a concussion, which is common with traumatic brain injuries, which is basically what my husband ended up having. I literally, like I knew that concussions were bad and people would be out of it for a while, but I did not know like that you could be basically healed and then your symptoms would come back. So when we moved here, I'd say like about a month in, I started noticing things that were a little different about him and just like the way he was acting and his personality. And I was just like, what's going on? You know, like just kind of wondering like, what's the dealio? I'm going to do some of this pink. It's been a while since I've done anything kind of pinkish. And I just didn't know what was going on with him. So finally, you know, fast forward some time, and he was just like, you know what, I've been having increasing symptoms for my concussion, but I didn't really want to worry you. I just thought, you know, it would go away if I slept more or whatever. So he started doing things that had helped him previously, you know, that he'd been advised to do. And unfortunately, those things that he had been advised to do weren't really helping him anymore. And so it just started to become concerning. So we started to look for medical care. Here's the thing, is when you have an automobile accident, especially when it's someone else's fault, everything just gets super, super complicated. And I don't want to get into like details of things, but you know, you only have so much money that you're allowed to spend, and then it's out of pocket. And basically what we ran into is that nobody wanted to treat him or help him because his concussion was automobile related. Most of the concussion centers want to deal with sports injuries, and we just had a hard time finding places that would treat him. Or neurologists would be like, oh, well, we don't accept your insurance, or we don't accept self-pay, or, you know, whatever it is. Especially for those bigger ticketed items, I think self-pay people scare them because they're like, you're not going to pay us. You know what I mean? Like, they'd rather work with insurance companies that are going to cover it, and they don't want to have to deal with people who are tangled up into like lawyers and automobiles and all that stuff. They don't want to deal with it. And I can understand from a business point of view, but for someone who is struggling in that, it was very disheartening to spend weeks and months calling and calling and calling and think that I got a lead on someone that would treat my husband, only to find out that their management said, oh, never mind, we can't treat him. And so it's been a journey trying to find someone that would essentially work with my husband and treat his condition. So we did eventually find a doctor here, but they were a primary care doctor, and they have been able to help him treat some of his symptoms, but not necessarily, you know, deal with the cause. And so we found a concussion center that he could go to, and that is where he is now. So he is getting treatment and hopefully on the way back to recovery. But guys, it is really hard. So I'm going to talk a little bit about just one, awareness for invisible injuries, and two, awareness for PCS is what people refer to it as, because I just did not know this was even a thing. I didn't see this coming at all. So basically, there are just so many people that are walking around that have invisible injuries, and I mean MS, lupus, fibromyalgia, you know, just tons and tons and tons. I mean, mental health issues. There's so many things that people deal with. I don't know why I showed this. I haven't even put on foundation yet. Let me go back to foundation and stuff first. Got out of order there. So, Cover FX blurring primer. So there's so many people that are walking around with these conditions that honestly we have like no idea. And it's just so easy to judge and be like, why, you know, why are they having an issue? They seem fine. And of course, some people seem fine. And it's hard because there are people out there who take advantage of the system. So when people are actually hurt, you know, people don't believe them, or they think they're faking it. It's just all so hard, and it's just kind of messed up. So basically the symptoms with PCS is that you have, the biggest one my husband deals with, well, he deals with all of them, is headaches. So he has pretty much a constant headache all day that ranges from probably like a 5, like a bad headache, to a 10, a migraine. And that is pretty constant, like every single day. Once in a while, like maybe once a month, he'll have a day where his headache is only like a 1 or a 2, but that is very rare. And obviously we love those days, but that doesn't happen. So that was the thing he dealt with first. And then as it's gone along, I think the biggest thing that I noticed with him was that his personality changed. And that was something that was hard for me because I didn't understand what was happening and, you know, how PCS affected him until I started doing more research on it. And I actually found a support group that I learned a lot from online, from people that are caretakers or spouses or people that have it themselves. And it was interesting to hear from people's experiences what PCS actually does for them. And everybody has like a different range of symptoms, I suppose. And so after headaches, there is sensitivity to light, to noise, dizziness, just unstable emotions, confusion, memory problems, just kind of overall instability. And it changes for everyone. Some people have more anger. My husband didn't really get like angry. He would just kind of feel really out of sorts, and he'd just get overwhelmed really easily. And so you can imagine having 3 small kids, that's really not conducive environment for somebody who has PCS when they're sensitive to noise and to light and to things like all that. It's a struggle. It's a struggle for him every day. And that's, you know, really difficult, which has basically left me solo parenting. So I think that's been one of the biggest reasons why I have had a hard time uploading videos, because I have had to focus on my family. And for me, like, I've enjoyed getting ready, but it hasn't been as much of a stress reliever as it has been at other times in my life. So I wanted to focus on things that really helped me feel better. And right now that has been health and fitness. It feels like something that I can control. It's like when your world is spinning out of control and you can't do anything about it, you want to feel like you have a constructive way to do something positive. And that's what it's been for me. I'm using the e.l.f. now. This is in bronze, pink, beige, and this is the cream. So that's what it's been for me, is just been doing my fitness stuff. And I've been loving it and, you know, posting on my Instagram and just feeling like for everything negative that I have to go through, spitting out something positive, whether it's a positive quote or motivational thing or a way to encourage other people, it really makes me feel balanced. It makes me feel like I'm giving something good out there into the universe. So it's like helping balance things out, I guess. For my husband, you know, he basically equates what his symptoms feel like is it's like, he says it's like driving a car with a dirty windshield or swimming in a pool with a parachute and all your clothing on. It's like he can see what he's supposed to be doing, and he can see sometimes that how he feels might not be correct, but he can't control what he's feeling or things like that. Like, it's very difficult for him to have control over his emotions. And something that happens to people with PCS is called flooding. And this is something that, you know, through my research, I've learned a little bit more about. I knew it was happening to him, but I didn't know exactly what it was. But basically what happens is your brain loses its ability to censor out like other things. So you think about how our brains work, like as a person living in the world, you're walking outside, you can hear a garbage truck, you can hear cars on the freeway, you can hear a bird singing, you can hear a dog barking, you can hear kids playing with a ball, you can hear someone over there talking on their phone, you can hear a lawnmower. And our brains have just learned how to tune those things out, and you can focus on what's most important. So if you're walking down the street with your friend, you're not listening to all those things. You might subtly hear them in the background, but you're just focusing on what's most important. Well, when people with PCS get overwhelmed, they lose their ability to filter out all those things. So it's like hearing everything coming at you at once without being able to tell what's the most important thing. So the brain just gets so overwhelmed that it just like basically like shuts down. Like there's some days where like if he's having a hard day, like it's like he can hear the dishwasher going, the dryer, the, you know, all these little things, the kids movie playing, and it's like it gets to be too much. We've found a lot of mechanisms on how he can cope with it. As far as like a big thing for him is just going out and taking a walk. And so, you know, we kind of have that thing where if he just gets overwhelmed, it's like no questions asked. He just says, I need a break or whatever. And he just goes out and takes a break. You know, that could be during dinner. That could be when he's home. It could be at work that he has to take a break. I mean, it honestly could be at any time that he just feels that overwhelming feeling. At work, it's a little harder because he still works full time. Amazing, I know. I think he's amazing for being able to do that. And his doctors have said it's really helped him push his brain in a good, positive way to keep working. So, you know, he has to, like, it requires him so much brain energy to get through his day at work that when he comes home, he's basically exhausted. But I have adapted really well to solo parenting. You know, it's funny how sometimes you go through things that you think, oh, I'll never be able to do that. Like I would never be able to do that on my own or this or that. And I've learned a lot about fear. There's actually a book called You Are a Badass, and it's on Audible, and she talks a lot about how, you know, we have these limiting beliefs about what we can do from the things that we've been taught in our lives. Like, you know, if you met someone who said, oh, women can't do this, or you can't do that, or you should do this, like we take all those thoughts about ourselves and like put them on ourselves, and that kind of creates our personality, so to say. And I think there was a lot of things that like I just grew up, not to blame my parents or anyone else, just in life in general. And I just kind of thought, well, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I need my husband to help me with this. When really in actuality, I can do them. So I have been pushing myself to do things that kind of are scary or things that I wouldn't normally do. And that's really helped me too, to feel like I'm in control of my own happiness. I'm in control of my own destiny. I have the power to create my own happiness. And I don't expect my husband to provide that for me. And he provides for me financially, which is amazing enough considering what he's going through, that I don't need. I mean, I have really hard days, you know, don't get me wrong, but I am in control of how I feel. And so that's one of the things I've learned from my whole health and fitness journey, and things that I'm trying to like help other people too, is that we're always going to have hard things. And there's been things like I'm training for a 5K. I'm not a runner. I've never been able to run. That's something that I've always just looked at other people and like, how can they be runners? You know, like I just feel like I'm not a runner. But when I sit back and think, why can't I do this? Because I'm not good at it, because it doesn't come easy to me. So I've been pushing myself to go out and to run and to try. And yeah, maybe I run a little, walk a little, run a little, walk a little, but I just keep going. I took my kids on a hike and I strapped Little Miss to my back and I hiked for 2 miles. And you know, I've gained so much endurance from what I've been doing that's something I never would have been able to do. But it made me feel so empowered. I drove to the lake that we were at, and it was someplace I'd never been to. It was on freeways I've never driven on, and I get like car anxiety. And so sometimes I get really scared about going places that I've never been before. And so again, like I just think, why do I feel like I can't do this? It's because my own limiting beliefs are telling me that I can't, not because I'm not actually able. And that's the thing, you have to think, what in your life are you not doing? And it may not be that you're not able to do it, but just that you limit yourself. So that in a roundabout way is kind of where we've been. It's been a journey, I'll be honest. I'm going to use this hard candy highlighter. This is in Prismatic Highlight Iridescent Pearl Powder. There's days that I feel like I can't do it, but then I think about all the other things that I've been through that have been hard, and I just think, you know, I think I put a highlighter on already. I did. Oh well, I'll layer them. I think about things that I've been through already, and you know, helping my mom through cancer, and helping my mom through my dad dying, dealing with my father dying on my own, and just other various challenges that I've been through my life. And I'm just like, I can do whatever I put my mind to. I may not be able to heal my husband, but I can be the best mother, even if I'm a solo mother, that I can be. I can take the best care of my body. I can take care of myself and make sure that I'm taking a break. Like yesterday, I just like watched Mamma Mia. I painted my toenails. I didn't make dinner because I made plenty the night before. I went to a place that I loved by myself. I brought home some bomb chips and salsa from my favorite Mexican restaurant. Like, I did things that made me feel good. And I think that's one of the most important things. But rounding it up really quick, the point that I wanted to make is just be kind, because you never know what people are battling. And someone could look at my husband and be like, he seems fine to me, and have no idea what he's going through. And so like, you just don't know. You don't know what someone's struggling with. You don't know how many people are out there and they're silently suffering from chronic illnesses that you have no idea about. So just drive safe, okay? Please, I'm begging you, drive safe. Don't judge others. And if you ever hear of someone with PCS, like, believe them. They're not making this up. I can't believe how many people in the group that I'm in have said that they go to doctors and doctors say that they're making it up, there's nothing wrong with them, that all their blood tests come back normal. And that honestly can be the case. But guys, it is real. It's not a fake thing. He's not lying. He's not trying to get attention. It's real. And thankfully the concussion center he's at acknowledges that, and they have like all the stuff they're doing to help him and everything. But it's sad to see so many people across the world that are struggling with this. Like, there's 8,000 people in this group. Okay, 8,000 people, probably way more, that haven't found this group that are struggling with this, and or supporting someone who's struggling with this. And it's sad to see how many people are getting turned away from doctor to doctor to doctor. And so I just felt like, you know what? I should probably just share that this is a thing. Let people know that this is a thing. If someone in your life is struggling with this, believe them. They're not making it up. Like, it's real to have a concussion and then to get better and then to not be better. I know it sounds crazy, but it is a real thing. If you want to know more about it, I'm sure you can just Google post-concussion syndrome and learn more about how it affects you. It affects everyone a little bit differently. Let me grab some lip product really quick. This is Party in the Buff from e.l.f. I thought something neutral would be fitting, since I have the pink. It's a little too peachy. going to put this over. This is the Huda Beauty Lip Strobe in Snobby. There. I think that goes a little bit better. What do you guys think? Don't know what the hair's doing. It's kind of like a weird half curly dried like this do, but you know what? I'm just going to roll with it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thanks for listening to me, I wouldn't say rant, but just kind of talk about what's going on in my life. Thanks for your support as always. I always appreciate your guys' kind comments and support as always. I love and appreciate you. I'm sorry I've been gone. I'm sorry I haven't been answering comments. I've just been, that's the best way to explain it. All right, hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.